Hi there, listener. You're about to experience TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games, and there will be plenty of game talk, but also copious amounts of crude, off-color, offensive, and immature speech. So if you are of a rather sensitive humor constitution, we're just letting you know what you're in for with this show. It has games. It has jokes. You know, just games and jokes. Take the games, take the jokes, and have a good time.
Hello, Internet, and welcome to another TADPOG podcast. It's a show that happens twice a week where two old guys, one guest straight in from halfway around the world, and the brother of one of those older guys.
The younger brother.
The younger brother.
It's a younger guy.
A younger guy. Because when he's an old guy, then I don't want to think about that because that makes me a really older guy.
Mm-hmm. Long story short, it's Tyler's brother. His little brother. For all y'all newcomers.
Talk about old games. I'm your bearded host, Tyler, and I didn't even think of an intro, so I'm just going to talk about who's here today.
Oh, great.
Because I guess we've got a special episode, a very different Other Shit Monday.
It's Other Shit Monday. It can be anything we want. It's
So-
right there in the name.
It's rather the name.
Other shit.
So really, whenever Ashley Shake was of Fist Puncher fame and All Calls fame came in, talked about doing an episode, and then Shake very graciously was like, "You guys want that SoundCloud thing? I'll do that. I'll pay for your SoundCloud for next year if I can just pick an episode and just do what I want." So I was like, "Okay, I'm an opportunist in that regard, so bring it on. That sounds good."
We're going to sell out. So if this is an awful episode, Shake's fault. It's not our fault.
I don't even remember saying that SoundCloud thing. I thought y'all just liked me. I thought due to overwhelming fan demand, Shake was coming back. TADPOG fan demand.
That's true now. Your last episode
Overwhelming.
with Jacob did have really good response. You
Yeah.
even got your own personalized 5-star review.
I did, and do you know the name of the one fan?
I think it was like Awesome Andrew Adams.
There was one fan who posted on iTunes who said, "I think Ashley Shake is the funniest guest host." And that really meant a lot to me. And I was really, really touched by that. And I know that is like a needle in Jacob York's heart. And so, thank you. Thank you for that.
That was secretly me.
So I guess really if this episode goes off and then, because your donation to the show would then give you a different title, you'd be Saint Shake for that amount of money.
All right. When do I get
Shake.
when do I get Master Cock? 'Cause that's the only title I want in my life.
Master Cock
Yeah.
Shake?
No, just Master Cock. You know,
Oh,
that's-
just Master
No,
Cock.
we simply refer to you mononymously as Master Cock. Halfway around the world comes Master
Yeah.
Cock.
And Jacob is Lil Dicky. Jacob York, he's listening to this right now. In a car
got it.
somewhere driving, and he's hitting on his steering wheel. Fuck you, Shake.
But I guess something came to mind. I just remember, I'll tell a story about Ryan, how Ryan and I used to play Street Fighter, which really us playing the video game Street Fighter, him and I just using our imaginations and playing Street Fighter, which consisted of, we mostly played it when we moved into a new house. I think I've talked about the dollar house before.
Oh, yeah.
So we moved in the dollar house and it was completely vacant. So we would play Street Fighter. And I was always E Honda because I was so much bigger than him. And that just consisted of me just throwing him around room to room.
See, when you say you're playing Street Fighter, you don't mean you're playing
I was
on-
just beating him.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
all right.
I would just say I was a Street Fighter character
Yeah.
and just throw him
So
around.
you were pretending you were a Street Fighter
yeah,
character.
I
When you
pretended
said-
I was E Honda.
When you said playing imaginary Street Fighter, I thought you guys would pretend you had a controller, and
get
you'd like
sticks.
look at like a tree, and you would think that you're watching each other play. So to make it clear, what you were doing is you were acting like the Street Fighter.
acting out
like
Street
doing
Fighter.
Hadoukens.
We were
and stuff
LARPing
like that
Street
to each
Fighter,
other.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So-
Well, what character was Ryan?
Somebody not E Honda.
Anything Tyler wanted me to be.
Dalzim probably.
Man, I'm starting to see like a weird brother relationship. Like anything Tyler wanted me to be. I mean, man, you're dominating this guy,
Well,
Tyler.
I-
Come on, man.
I had 5
You smacked him around as he hot him when he was little. Obviously, it still had a big effect on him because we asked him a simple question. He's like, anything Tyler wanted me to be. You know? What are you going to do tomorrow? Anything Tyler wants me to do tomorrow? You smacked him around pretty hard when you're
I had
E-Honda,
5
huh?
years and 80 pounds on him. He kind of had to.
Yeah.
Even like I think you were taller than me. Like even by like I was in high school and you were like in 5th grade and probably taller than I was. So
Dave, did you do those games where you like smacked your sibling around or something? And
No, my sister was 13, my sister was 13 years younger.
okay, all right.
you were 18
right.
and she was 5 and played Street Fighter, just throwing her
Yeah.
through walls.
Good thing she wasn't sisters with Tyler, huh? She get Hadoukened real hard out the window.
Tyler really only got mad at me one time, and I was making fun of him. Him and just broke up or something, and I just made fun of him or something. And I remember he grabbed my shirt and picked me up and just slammed me against the refrigerator.
Man, I don't remember that at all. I must have rage blanked out.
That was the
Did
the only.
were the words like "best brother" spelled out on the refrigerator in those magnetic letters, and like when he slammed
Just
you on it,
knocked
they
them
just all
off.
knocked off.
Knocked off.
Yeah, I had a sensitive spot after. I'll censor out her name, even though I haven't in the past. I totally forgot about
Oh,
it.
right.
Well, I'll do it this time.
He did the worst. He did do all the time. You know how in Big Daddy when the kid eats a lot of ketchup and does that spit thing.
No, yeah, that's
What are we talking about? Again, Shake, who lives in Japan, is lost in this American
Big
culture.
Daddy came out when you
All
were
right,
still in
what is
America.
this eats ketchup and spit thing?
It's from
right.
Bioshock.
Yeah.
You don't remember when the Big Daddies did that?
No, come
When he eats
on.
tons of ketchup.
Y'all are pulling my leg.
That's how Rapture runs, son.
When your spit gets you eat ketchup or you eat something, your spit gets this consistency to where you can spit it out and just suck it back up.
I did not know that. Damn.
Yep.
And that's hot in America right now? There's like YouTube videos of people doing that? Or
It was hot like 10 years ago.
Oh, okay. I missed it.
And Tyler would grab me and hold me down. Of course, he's 5 years older than me, so he's bigger than me, and put his knees on my shoulders, and then he would spit and get as close to my face as possible and suck it back up.
Oh, my God. That's terrible. That's so disgusting.
I think I dropped it like twice, too.
Occasionally, it'd go too far, and he couldn't suck it back up, and it would land on me.
That's awful. Were
No, you
Tyler's
were
parents
such a-
aware?
You were such a bully, man. Like over the last couple episodes, like putting a booger on Josh's face.
Were Tyler's parents aware that he did this?
Probably not.
I don't know, maybe.
Well, Ryan was a much better brother to me because, like, I would be downstairs in
'Cause
the
he
basement.
never did that?
He never did that. I'd be downstairs in the basement messing around with my girlfriend, and I would have him play lookout. So if my parents pulled out, Ryan would run downstairs and knock on the door, and then I would know to get everything back in order. Yeah.
Shit.
What's up, Internet? I'm Dave. I'm your bespectacled host. And I got a question for Shake. I want to take an opportunity. I have a Japan question. I was listening to a podcast called My Brother, and Me. On that podcast, one of the hosts, Griffin, was saying something about there's no tipping in Japan. Is that correct?
That's right, yeah.
There's no tipping in Japan?
I think in a lot of countries there's no tipping, to be honest with you. But
Yeah.
I'm not an expert on other countries. And I'm not really an expert on Japan, but no tipping at all in Japan.
You've never
No.
tipped for anything in
No.
Japan?
And the waitresses get paid more to compensate for
Yeah.
that. So they get paid like, more money. Like that. At McDonald's, they get paid the equivalent of like $10 an hour, Kind of like what they get paid like McDonald's here or something.
Yeah.
Wait, you don't tip at McDonald's?
No.
Shit. That example. All right, come on, man.
Sonic?
All right, Sonic.
Sonic, yeah. Do they have
Well,
Sonic in
basically,
Japan?
at any restaurants where you have to tip, they get paid the equivalent of a McDonald's person.
Yeah, okay.
Which, there's pros and cons.
Yeah.
The con is you don't make as much money when it's packed. The pro is when you go and it's dead, you still get a steady paycheck.
Right.
So, the tipping thing,
I feel like I heard
It's
that
a
it's
lot
kind of
easy-
catching on in America. a
really,
little
it
bit
makes more sense. You know what I'm saying? Because when I come here and I order a bunch of food and then I'm like, okay, was this waiter or waitress worth 25 or 20 or 15? How much? It's just extra thought and time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I used to work as a waiter in America, and I made pretty good money for what way more than I made when I worked at Dairy Queen. So
Yeah.
I think a lot of waiters and waitresses might be against it, though, in America to go on a non-tipping system. Because you always have drunk people who tip a lot, or you have people who are rich and just tip a lot.
It also depends on where you're working. Like I was a server at Huddle House, so I mean,
Oh, that's true.
I wasn't making a whole
That's
lot.
true.
I would
That's
rather had
true.
an hourly wage at Huddle House.
Yeah.
But
And when I wait on tables, it's all old people.
yeah, at Cracker Barrel. So I imagine.
Do old people tip well or not?
Usually not.
Really?
Usually it's like, here's $1.
Is it just because they don't understand the
Four
value
quarters.
of? They're like, well,
guess
$1,
not.
you could buy a house with that.
Yeah.
If I mentioned, like, I think the worst tippers in the world, like, I've waited at several places. I've been involved in the restaurant industry my whole life. The worst tippers are Christian bikers. Because they have, like, the attitude like they're a badass biker.
Yeah.
So, like, they don't tip you anything. They might leave you, like, a track or something like that, or
a track?
a Christian track, which is just like a pamphlet about Jesus.
Oh, all right.
Man,
or-
I didn't know that.
Why do they call it a track?
I don't know.
I thought maybe you thought a tire track or something, you know? Like, and then like, there you go. There's your tip, bitch.
They've even
It's a tire track on the ground.
they even
Left
make
your
them,
ass.
they even make them to look like $5, $20 bills or whatever. And then when you open it up, it said this gift is more valuable than any money that I could give you. It's the gift of Jesus
man.
Christ.
It's not a
I
track.
never knew. I'm learning so much about America now. I want these to give to people, so they think I give them money, and I'm like, gotcha.
You're from America.
Gotcha, God goof.
Yeah. I'm sure there's Tadpog fans who have not heard of this too. Speak out. Let your voice be heard.
I think it's trick, not track.
Jesus trick.
Jesus trick.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
I think you misheard.
I think the southern accent was
Yeah,
real strong. He's
right.
like, oh, he left a track. And you're like, oh, okay. They meant trick. That's what they meant.
I think you're right. What's up, guys? Shake, Ryan. Thanks for coming on the show. I'm excited.
Yep. Just for all the new listeners, because, you know, I'm big about that. I think just in case someone's tuning in.
They're not.
I work in Japan. Yeah, there could be new listeners. That's what you want. I live in Japan, and I'm just here on Tadpog once or twice a year. But I grew up with Tyler, basically, in Kentucky.
Started being friends in the 3rd grade.
Yep. And then Ryan's here. He's Tyler's little brother. Ryan won't talk because Tyler's slapped him around as E Honda. Did you dress up like E Honda too, Tyler? Did you put on what's that called? Fruit Loops? No, Fruit Loop. What is it called?
What?
Not Fruit Loops.
Fruit
what's that?
Roll-Ups?
Fruit Roll-Ups as underwear? Did you use Fruit Roll-Ups as underwear and then you like smacked them around and stuff?
What do you mean, did you?
I still do.
Yeah.
That sounds like, come host Tadpog. He was like, do you have fruit roll-ups? No, thank you.
Do they still sell those in America?
Good question.
It's been a
I don't
long
know.
time since I've seen them.
I think so. They're like 6 inches long now, but
I'm sure they're real different now because that's one thing I've learned coming back to America is like all the food changes every year. And I was telling Tyler when we were going to Walmart, I'm like, this is why Americans are so fat. This is why we're the fattest country in the
So I was
world.
about to say, you got to keep us American
Yeah.
dogs built
This
like
is
sausage.
Why. No, well, like listen. I'm not anti-American. I'm saying it's because we're so good at making new foods, and it's so delicious when we make a new combination. Like Taco Bell had Doritos tacos, right? Suddenly you've got to try that, right? And then like I was at Kroger and like they had yogurt with Snickers on top, Snickers yogurt or M&M yogurt and stuff. But that's not why you're supposed to eat yogurt. Yogurt's a healthy food, right? You're not supposed to mix it with candy and stuff. But it sounds so good, right? And then Fazoli's is making fast food now. You know, it's just all these
What
crazy.
do you mean? I thought
Frozen
they were,
meals.
Oh, they're making frozen meals?
Oh yeah. Sorry, I got it backwards. Yeah, they used to do fast food Italian, right? Now they're doing frozen food, right?
I didn't
Maybe
know
in the
that.
future people will be like, they used to be fast food, like. Man,
that's crazy. I can't wrap my mind
And they're
around it.
always just American food is just always come up with the crazy stuff. And like one thing that shocked me too, I didn't notice this, is like you can buy a tub of butter, country crock butter. And I think when Japanese people or people from any other country in America see that, they're like, why in God's name would you need this gigantic bucket of butter? Like, who uses that much butter in anything, right?
Well, Ron,
in Japan, you
when
can
we were
only
both
buy the
little,
sticks.
We would eat it like a spoon and just eat it out of the tub when we were little.
Wow.
Yeah.
she said she would have the bar
Yeah,
on
you
the
would
table, and I would reach in and just take
right.
bites
Oh,
out.
man.
That made my
man.
grandmother so mad. Like
Oh,
she'd open up
man.
her butter tin and there'd be like
Bite
4 bite marks all the way down the butter.
Like a goddamn cartoon character was taking chops out of her butter.
I mean, it's just, I think when people in other countries hear that, it's like how we would feel if people just drank vegetable oil. You know, you'd think, no, that's crazy. Why would you do that? You know, but that's what you're doing when you're eating butter. It's basically the
we
same
do that.
thing.
We do that. We just call it Sunny D.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's something entirely different.
But I got this theory, though, about like a tilting scale. So fat, you know, American food gets more delicious and more delicious and more delicious. And then they have to do something to make it healthy. Like they'll come up with like, now whole wheat. You know, it's a whole wheat version of Snickers. So it's okay. And then you feel good about eating them again. Or like, oh, now it's gluten-free. You know, something like that. So
It revolves, right?
Yeah, and then the scale goes back. And so, like with butter, like now it's like omega-3 butter. You know,
Constantly.
now you eat it and it's good for you, right? And then like next it'll be something like gluten-free butter and stuff like that.
Because it's
Well,
like,
butter is gluten free.
Yeah, it is gluten-free, but then if you put it on the label, they're like, oh, good.
Oh, okay.
Or no carbs butter. I think butter has no carbs too, but they're like, it's perfect for your Atkins diet. They're like, oh, okay. Well, it's good for my Atkins diet, so I'll buy this butter, you know? So it's really interesting now that I live overseas and I come back and I see that, you know?
Because so much food is made by chemists now to find the sweet spot between salt, sugar, and fat. So everything's just addictive biologically.
Have you seen that chicken sandwich at KFC where it's just instead of the bun on each side, it's a piece of chicken?
I saw that when it came out because it
That
made
double
national
down.
news on Yahoo.com. That's how I keep up with what's going on in America a little bit. 'Cause I will go to Yahoo.com. And that was one of the main headlines. And but then I also read that apparently the Big Mac is worse for you somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That was a main headline on Yahoo?
Yeah.
Yahoo is really slipping into their game.
Yahoo's headlines are like 1/4 real news and then 3/4 just like culture kind of stuff. But I need to know that to keep up. You know what I'm saying?
We need to do a Culturecast just for you.
yeah.
We can
yeah.
we can like when the Double Down comes out, we do a special episode.
Every year we can do the Culturecast with Ashley Shake where we tell you about this new food and just have you react to it.
Because that's all it is companies combining stuff now. Like Snickers is making yogurt. Doritos is making tacos. Like all these companies partnering up. Apparently Pizza Hut has Sriracha pizza.
I love
now,
sriracha.
You know what I'm
Sriracha, I
saying?
love
So
it.
it's gonna be like it's just and Girl Scouts makes ice cream now.
Yeah.
Thin Mint ice cream.
And
It's
it's
like
good.
all the food companies that are joining forces to make food even better to keep America, as fat and unhealthy as possible.
Yeah.
you
But
know?
there are really only like 6 different food manufacturers, 6 different companies, and they basically between those 6 mega corporations, they own everything. So it's easy for one corporation will have like the rights to 8 different kinds of food you didn't know about. So it's under their purview, so they can just then combine it. Mm-hmm. So Shadowrun is coming. Mm-hmm. The world is quickly going to become Shadowrun.
The dragon's going to show up and
become president. And
yeah,
that's it.
there won't be enough fast food to stop them.
You'll understand that when you get to Shadowrun. Mm-hmm.
I bought okay, you're talking about the one that has the Genesis and the Super Nintendo version.
Just talking about the
Super Nintendo one.
version.
That's the one we
Okay,
played.
but it has 2 versions.
It does
Y'all
have
mention
2
that in your
versions.
podcast?
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
I'll be disappointed if you
Oh, I don't even remember.
I'm pretty sure we do.
When
If we
you
don't,
read it on Wikipedia, you should have probably
if
did.
we don't, just forgive us.
First time listeners, go listen now and check it out. Find out, is Shake right?
We'll have a link in the show notes.
Any point of topic you want to discuss now?
There is
I'll just go ahead and call this Culturecast because that's still what we're doing.
Yeah, but this isn't a true culture cast.
Yeah.
Like we don't have a culture cast material ready. Like on culture cast, I want to have like sandwiches for Shake to try and give his opinions about them.
Try them live on the air.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I do want to make an apology about last podcast because Dave asked a question. He said, if you could turn something into an NES,
Yeah.
what would you turn? And I was like, I didn't get it.
Right.
And I think the keyword was convert. If you would have said convert, I would have got what you were talking about. But
Yeah, I didn't write the question.
I guess it's hot now, in
Yeah,
the
it was,
Reddit.
it was a caller, wasn't
In
it?
the Reddit circles now, like, to turn stuff into convert things in NES. And I was like, I don't know, dust. And I just feel really embarrassed about that. It made no sense. And I was just like about to leave. I just felt embarrassed. But
I'm glad you brought it up again.
Now that I've thought about it more, like, and with Jacob's stance against like not having like using sex to sell games and not having hot
bot.
checks or not having boobs in games and stuff, Jacob
think he said
saying
that,
all that.
but-
Yeah, he said
No
that.
boobs in games.
Yeah, basically, that's what he said. He's like, I've got an issue with that. But what I would convert to an NES is I can convert a plush doll of Tifa. All right?
Okay.
And then, like, the controller ports are her boobs. They come out of her nipples, right? And you plug in, like the audio visual cord in her asshole. All right? Just to piss Jacob off. And then the thing that to really drive Jacob up, like up the wall is the power button is deep inside her pussy. And you have to stick your middle finger deep inside that plush doll to just hit, that part where that's where that's the end, and that's the power button. You have to stick your finger deep in
G-spot
there.
power button.
Yeah, and it only responds to middle fingers. It's got like it's like got that new iPad technology that it tells which finger you're using, and it only uses the middle finger just to piss Jacob off. That'd be a badass NES. In all seriousness, I did have like a scary flashback to something from childhood recently. Maybe you guys can
About
share.
the Tifa doll?
No.
Burying my middle finger
I'm moving-
deep inside something.
Was it a Miss Piggy?
I'm trying to keep the listeners hooked because I'm moving
Yeah.
from sex to scary stuff.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
But maybe you guys can share some scary stuff that happened to you when you were a kid. I know you're allergic to bees, Dave. You made that known in your podcast. So if I ever want to,
No.
you said that in your podcast.
He's allergic to penicillin.
No, you
Penicillin,
said you're
fine, no.
deadly allergic to bees. Tadpog fans, prove me right. You said that. You said that, and I thought, man, if I wanted to kill Dave,
Yeah.
all I got to do is like put some bees in his apartment. Now no one will know. You know?
Sometimes I joke around on this show.
How's that-
Do you know?
No, how is that funny that you're saying you're allergic to
It
bees?
might have
and
been
you're not?
it might have been a My Girl goof.
Yeah, we might have been.
We make
talking
a
about
lot of
Girl.
My Girl goofs.
What's my girl?
Sometimes I do crazy characters that sound just like me.
I even sent you a message on Facebook Messenger. I said, Dave, I know you're allergic to bees, and you're like, and like you just sent me the thumbs up sign, and I was just like, yeah, you just sent me the thumbs up sign. I'm like, all right, I guess he thinks it's funny.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, Tadpog fans, you know what I'm talking about.
Are you
But
sure it
anyway.
was Dave? It could have been
Yes.
somebody else.
Oh my God! It was only you and It was only
It was
you
only
and
the two of
Tyler.
us.
It wasn't like there's 15 people on the podcast. All right. I take fish oil. I got a good memory, but no, this is like all serious. Okay, like I used to live. I don't think Tyler knows this, but on some condominiums near Food Giant a long time ago, like in kindergarten and first grade.
It's just
And
spooky story. Campfire
yeah,
story.
kind of. It's not. It's just weird. And I just had a flashback to it. I've never told anyone this either. But one night, like we had a tiny, tiny backyard because it was a condominium with a fence, and there were like plants planted in it. And one night, I don't know how, but for some reason, I went outside and I started digging in the ground. I don't know why. I'm not a digger. I don't like to dig stuff, but I just started digging. And then I found this bug, this insect that was pretty big, and it was like moving all its little feelers and stuff, and like I'd never seen an insect like it ever. And I looked at it, and it had almost like humanoid-like features in its face. Like I'm not saying it had a human head. I'm not gonna go that far, but like you could see like its mouth and like its eyes, and it almost looked like it was smiling at me, and it's moving all these little feelers and stuff around. I've never seen a bug like it, and it just scared the shit out of me. And I'm like, why was I digging here? What possessed me to come here and dig this out? I looked at it and I felt like it knew me when I saw it, and then I just like threw it down, and I don't know what I did after that. I don't know if like I tried to stop it or something, but I just remember that memory, and I'll think about it every once in a while. I've never told this to anyone, and I don't know, maybe it was like some alien that was like calling out to me to dig it out of there, or who knows? But that insect with a human-like face that I digged out of the ground for some reason. I don't know. Y'all have any shit like that happen to you?
I've never dug an alien baby out of the ground. No, I don't. I don't have a story like that. That's too bizarre.
You
Too
do,
bizarre
but you
of a
don't want to
story.
share it because it's
I'm
too
trying to-
scary, Dave. You don't want to open those doors. You're not ready to open those doors.
Cthulhu style, you've repressed it.
No, when I was little, I used to be terrified of that. I felt someone was in the closet, like a kind of like have you guys seen Paranormal Activity, the movies? But anyway, not to spoil anything. It's not a big spoiler, but like
There's ghosts in them.
they at one point in the movie, they reference a childhood memory of they felt like something was watching them, like a dark figure when they were kids. And I always felt like something was watching me from the closet, no matter what house we moved into.
That was Miller.
And so, like when I would sleep, I would always put the covers over my head because it just somehow, kind of felt like it protected me. I don't know if you guys put the covers over your head when you slept. Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty universal.
And it really sucked because sometimes it was so hot and I couldn't sleep because I had the covers over my head, but I had to do it.
Did you ever worry you were going to suffocate?
No, I never worried about that.
That was
no.
always my dilemma.
Oh, really?
Because it was like I'd put the blankets over my head because I'd be scared, and then I'd get scared that I was going to suffocate, and I'd pull the blankets off over my head, and then I'd be scared of that thing that originally scared me, and I'd put them back on my head. So for like hours at night, it would just be blanket overhead, blanket no longer over the head. Yeah.
I'm trying to think what my fears were when I was little.
I know a fear you had, Tyler, but I don't want to talk too much.
No,
so.
go ahead. What do you think it was? Then I could talk about it.
Bananas.
So one time Tyler said, now correct me if I'm wrong, Tyler, but this was in our psychology class in high school, and he announced this in front of the class because we talked about dreams. And you said that you would have a dream where like there'd be this long stalk of wheat.
Yeah, I've talked about this on the show before.
Oh, you already have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we talk
I'd
about
have
it?
that. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Because I'd have
For the new listeners, should we talk about it, or should we just be like, nope, only old listeners?
We can talk about it again.
All right.
It's
Yeah.
interesting.
All right.
Like I had giant hands and I had to eat little wheat, and like I remember it would still freak me out like for years and years and years. It's been a while since I've had one now, but I would still I would wake up and have to clasp my hands together because I feel like my hands were enormous, and I had to, if I touched them together, then I could feel that they were normal size. Yeah, I remember that dream would
And
freak
you
me
couldn't
out.
eat the wheat. I remember you said that in front of
'Cause I would
everyone.
keep
And it
trying
just
to
stuck
pick
with
it
me, and I
up.
couldn't eat the wheat. And then you said that every time you had that dream, then you get sick.
That's true.
Like with a cold or
true.
flu. And you just stuck with me. I'm like, Tyler has those can't eat the wheat dreams, and he gets sick.
Tyler, you remember that dream you had about those bees?
Oh yeah, you were allergic to them. Yeah, I remember. Ryan, do you remember any of your childhood fears?
Probably getting smacked around by Honda and then having some dude spit on him but suck it back up. Man.
His nightmare also involved Tyler having giant hands.
Yeah. Trying to eat him. Yeah.
I can't think of anything that I was just extremely just terrified of.
Yeah, I don't remember anything you were scared of either.
Did you ever dig a bug out of the ground? That was probably a cicada.
I remember I would always go to basketball camp, and there was this one guy that would sit up in the bleachers in the same spot every single day, and he would play with his pocket knife every day. And I would look up, and he'd just be playing with his knife. And I was
he like a butterfly knife that he'd just keep spinning in his
hand. It would
hand.
scare me, and
Where was this?
it was at Marshall County, the basketball camp.
They just let that happen?
Yeah, I guess so. Like, I don't know.
Man, that was the 90s,
Somebody's
dude.
parents.
Shit flew then. That was before terrorism. You know what I'm saying? It's a different world
I'm pretty
now.
sure it was not before terrorism.
See, Ryan had butterfly
It was
knife
before
guy, and
terrorism
I
was
had,
hot, you know.
Well, that's
Before it
true.
was a big deal,
Yeah.
you know.
and I had,
In
I had
vogue.
chocolate pudding photographer
Right.
because that guy freaked me out.
Right. But this sounds
You've talked
more
about the
disturbing.
photographer in other podcasts, in other TADPOGs. I remember that. Yeah. Find which ones.
Find them all.
Yeah. It's a TADPOG challenge.
There's a contest.
Yeah.
If you can find all the episodes that all these are referenced.
I
to.
hope Dave gets 1 million emails all pointing out the podcast where he said he's allergic to
I would,
I wanna
I would
listen.
love that.
I want him to just servers crash, and I
would-
want to have to change his email address, take Tadpog down because he's just assaulted. Like there's a mailbag full of letters
Yeah.
and stuff at his
That would be
doorstep.
like
Yeah.
Miracle on
That'd be
34th Street. That'd be
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
If that happened.
It would be a miracle.
Yeah. And then somehow Anonymous, you know, that big hacker group, somehow gets involved and they hack Tadpog just to prove it. You said you're allergic to bees, and now you're saying you're not, and they're punishing you for
I have to
tricking
issue
your fans
a
or
public
tracking your
apology.
fans. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do remember, now that I think about it, the very first time I ever stayed home by myself. Like, I never stayed home by myself very often because Tyler was always there, and that wasn't a big deal. I was like 8 years old. Mom was like, I'm going to go to the store. And then I just begged her to stay home. And I'm like, I can stay home by myself. And then I was sitting in the living room, and I see this rapist white van come down the driveway. We have like that mile-long driveway. So I could
Yeah,
see
I
them
remember
coming.
that. It's super long driveway.
And it had nothing on it, just a white van. And then they pull out from the house, and two big guys get out. And I'm 8 years old, and I'm home alone for the first time.
Yeah, and you've been smacked around by E Honda a couple times. Yeah.
And I freaked out, and I ran to my parents' like bedroom, and I took out the window and jumped outside. And then I realized that I locked myself out, and now I couldn't get back in. And that was a bad deal. It ended up it was people delivering car parts for my dad in a big white van,
Big white rapist van.
rapist van. Yeah,
The only decal it had was rapist.
free candy.
Oh man, I don't remember anything else that I was. Yeah, I don't remember anything else that I was afraid of.
You remember the illustrations and the scary stories? Still in the
Yeah.
dark? Those
Yeah.
used to freak me out.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And you've talked about in an earlier podcast too, and they said they banned the illustrations or something. They don't.
They
have
changed
the same.
them.
They changed
I
them,
don't think they banned them,
Yeah.
but they
All the
changed
books.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John, our friend John has all of the originals. He'll bring like to gatherings and stuff like that. And I have one or two, but I think they're the different ones now, where they changed. Like I remember the one about what you eat when you're dead.
What was the illustration for that one?
It was like a skull
Hamburgers
with
and-
worms
Oh,
crawling
right,
in and out of it. It's like the worms that turn your face to jelly, and you spread that on toast, and that's what you eat when you're dead, or something like that. I remember that was something that stuck with me, obviously, and I remember that was one of the animations that was changed.
There was, I think it was Harold the Scarecrow. I remember that illustration. Stuck with me. I don't know what it is now. It's probably some kiddie bullshit.
It's probably just a guy named Harold, just still
Just a
eye,
pho-
him just sitting there eating a pear.
Just a photograph they scanned in. This guy's named Harold. It's scary. Pretty scary story.
Something scary that still happens to me now in Japan is in my when you walk in my apartment, there's like a hallway, and then you get into the actual apartment part. And in the hallway, there's a sensor, and it turns on a light automatically. It's a motion sensor, so you don't have to turn on a light every time you walk in a house. And sometimes I'm just sitting in my room watching TV at night, and that light turns on. But there's no one in there. And it doesn't happen often. It doesn't happen often enough to make it like, oh, it's just a glitch. It happens like maybe twice a year. But when it happens, dude, or like when I'm sleeping, and it just turns on, I'm like, what the fuck? What is that shit?
Are ghosts common in Japanese folklore? Do you know?
Sorry, I don't know. I'm not an expert on that. I don't know.
I'm just curious. I'm curious about Japanese monsters now.
But there's, you know what's kind of like cool and scary too is like there's some type of zombie in like all the different cultures. Like some version of basically what we, it's a standard zombie in Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And then also, but you guys probably knew this, there's dragons too in all the different cultures, right? Even cultures that had no relation to each other. So makes you think, man.
So there's definitely zombies and there's definitely dragons.
Zombies and dragons.
Yeah. And then you start thinking about, man, I know it's hot in America right now. What's going on with Malaysia Airlines? Where did that first flight go, right?
Yeah, dragons.
Maybe it turned to like something really small, and that's what's flying around in my hallway and setting up the... Yeah, I'm serious, dude. I don't know.
Tiny Malaysia.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
It's like some fucked up Langoliers scenario. Where like flew into an alternate dimension that is just Shake's hallway.
And what it's trying to do is it's trying to make the sensor go off in Morse code, hoping that I'll understand, but I don't know Morse code, so...
And you're scared. So
yeah,
you're too scared to learn Morse code.
Yeah.
You only get 2 characters a year, so it's got to take like 20 years to tell you.
They only have enough fuel to like go like a little bit, and then they have to do something to get more fuel, or I don't know,
Culture point you want to talk about.
This is kind of the last one, but I did have a terrible, terrible revelation last year when I came back to America and I did the fist puncher thing, but because I got a new computer, right, a couple years ago, and I didn't grow up rich, so I never had a really top-of-the-line computer. It was always the cheapest one I could get, but this was top-of-the-line Alienware. Then I got into Steam, right? Then I saw that you and Dave Moore and Josh Nance and, people who've been on this show before, they all had these Steam profiles and their picks, and you could see what games they've been playing.
Yeah.
And then you could look at their activity, like a Facebook feed, see, like, Dave got these achievements, and he bought this game.
Right.
He added this to his wish list, and I was just like, wow, there's this whole subculture, that I didn't realize, And I was never big into Facebook. And so I treated that like Facebook, and I would come home and I'd boot up the activity feed. I'm like, oh, I see what games Towers are playing. And you can click on rate up, which is like the equivalent of like in Facebook. And I would rate Towers stuff up, I'd rate you up, and I'd add comments, and then every day I'd be looking at what you guys were playing. And I just assumed that you guys were spending as much time looking at each other's profiles and rating stuff up and like looking at activity like I was. And I did that for 6 months, kind of like in this like Steam mode, and I was just like talking to you in my mind, like, oh, Tower knows I'm rating his stuff up, and he knows that I know that he got that achievement, and I see what's up, and I just felt really close to you guys. And then when I actually came back to America and I sat on Tyler's couch, and Tyler's doing his usual thing, sitting in his chair. He's got like the TV going. He's talking to Megan.
He's reading scary stories to tell in the dark.
And like he opens up Steam, and like he goes, oh, Steam sale. And then, like, he clicks on activity feed, and he just kind of wheels the mouse down, and then he closes it out. And I'm just like, oh, my God. I've been spending so much time, like, looking at what everyone's doing and thinking that's what you guys were doing, too, and clicking on rate up and, like, having imaginary conversations with you guys in my mind while I'm doing that. And I realized it was for nothing. I've been living...
What made you feel closer to
I've been
us?
living a lie for 6 months. You guys just treated Steam very... casually, like, just go in and then close it.
Cavalier. Yeah, it's a store.
Yeah. And so it really shocked me and disappointed me. And if I would not have came back if I would have stayed in Japan another year, I would have spent another year in that dream world where I imagined that you guys were doing that.
Are you glad that you know, or would you rather have lived another year in ignorant bliss?
Man, that's a deep philosophical question. I'm not sure. I don't know that.
And how do you think it ties into the human bug you dug out of your backyard? Because I'm sure there's probably a connection there. So there has to be.
We're getting like a lost,
and somehow also
like
connected to Malaysia flights, right? Malaysia Airlines, right?
You freed the interdimensional bug that then somehow swallowed Malaysia Airlines.
Yeah,
and because it attached itself to you. You see, there's a whole like weird lost thing.
Yeah, there's a thread from that bug to
somehow
you.
Somehow E-Honda comes out and smacks me in the face in it. Yeah. Tyler, you should dress up as E-Honda for Halloween now. We've got to see this. We've got to see this.
The whitest E-Honda the world has ever seen.
Well, I guess because I was going to be Shale Calm, I didn't work out enough. So I'm going to be E-Honda. I'm on that path pretty well. So
you want to talk about, you got any games or anything you want to talk about?
I mean...
You just want to do
Just a real quick, and then we can go to the phone calls, I guess.
All
But
right.
like,
it's up to you, man.
I really strongly disagreed with your guys' opinion on BioShock 2, and it really
Okay.
got my blood boiling.
Really?
real bad. Like BioShock 2, I will admit the story. Have you played it, Ryan?
Just Infinite. I beat
Just Infinite. All right. Well, I won't spoil it for anyone. Okay. But BioShock 1, of course, the story was amazing.
Sure, yeah.
And BioShock 2, the story was
pretty
not
okay.
amazing.
It's pretty okay.
Yeah, not amazing, and not even close to the beginning. And the villainess is not even close to as good as the villain.
Right.
In BioShock 1. But there is a point in the game that's awesome, and you've mentioned it, Tyler, and I'm not going to spoil it for anyone. That's
yeah.
really, really awesome. Do you remember that, Dave? You see things from a different perspective.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. And also, you mentioned this, Dave, but then you just said BioShock 2 is shit. Is setting traps in that game I thought was so fun.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to set traps all the time and like trying to figure out where the enemies would come from, you know? And then like
What difficulty did you play on?
normal.
Normal.
That's what I play everything on. I ain't no puss. But oh yeah, guys, Josh Nance plays on easy in a lot of games. So you know.
He's never on
Don't
this show
cut
again.
that out, Dave. But I just thought it was so fun, and I thought the gameplay was so much better in BioShock 1 because the gameplay in BioShock 1 to me was derivative and nothing special. Yeah, you get plasmids, you know. Yeah, you can shoot something out of your right hand or you can shoot a gun with your left hand. That's it. You know, I didn't think it was special, but BioShock 2, dude, you set all those traps up, and I thought the drill is my favorite weapon in any game. In any video game, the drill, it's so visceral when you drill into someone and you
yeah.
see them scream, or you can charge into them and knock them all down, you know, but...
Yeah. I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think I said the BioShock 2 is a bad game. I mean, I just don't think it's. I just
You
don't
guys
think it's
shit
good as-
all over it, and I remember it, and it would just I
Yeah.
was in the Japanese train at the time.
It was by far the one we liked the least.
What? Yeah, I mean, I still stand by that. Like, I think out of the three, it's still the one I like the least.
Yeah, not a bad game,
okay,
but
me
not
too.
the strongest
Me
in the series.
too. I'll go with that. But
Although Galen, Jacob's girlfriend, agrees with you. Like, I think BioShock 2 might be, doesn't agree with you, but is more leaning towards you. Like, because she loved BioShock 2. Like, after playing it, she said she probably liked Lamb and being a big daddy and, like, that scene that we were talking about. That was the most gripping to her in the three games. So, like, she was a huge fan of BioShock 2. Because I really do think that one scene is kind of the game's redeeming feature, because that is really good.
Yeah, it is. I kind of thought it was low hanging fruit. Like I didn't like. I thought it was. I did. Like I thought it was cool, but it's like, oh man, BioShock 2, you're a big daddy. I wonder what else you could be.
yeah. Next one, you'll be a slicer.
I didn't even think about
that.
So yeah, I mean, it was just kind of like one of those where it's like you can be all the things you fought in BioShock or interacted with in BioShock. I should say.
See your opinion on that. I see your opinion.
So I don't know. I thought the first one. I didn't think the first one was. Now I didn't play any of the System Shock games,
Me
so
neither.
like
Me
I don't
neither.
know.
Me
But like
neither.
I thought BioShock to me was like groundbreaking. I didn't think it was. I didn't think the combat was derivative. I thought it was like. I mean, it was for me. It was just like wow. This is the most fun I've had with a shooter probably since like Doom.
And then just I'm sorry for keep on bringing this up, but I take fish oil and I have a very good memory.
Yeah.
And one thing you said in the BioShock Infinite podcast is you started to talk about the ending, and you said I have issues with the ending, but I'll get to that later.
Right,
And you
never
never
did.
got back to him.
Never did.
Tadpog fans,
Yeah.
if you're listening now, get out and demand that Dave revisit those issues and explain what those issues are in BioShock Infinite Part 2.
I tell you what.
Because Shake asked the Tadpog fans. No, because Tadpog fans demanded it.
I'll make a deal. If tell me what episode I said I was allergic to bees on, and I'll tell you my problem with BioShock.
All right, that's easy. I can do that real quick. Oh, suck it now. I don't even know what that means. I just say it. Do people in America still say that? Because they used to when I lived here.
That's dangerous.
It was like hot. It was hot then. Like you'd walk into your room and they'd be like, "Oh, what's up, dog?" And you'd be like, "Oh, suck it now." You giving each other high fives. Those were the days, man.
No,
Those were the days.
I don't remember that.
All right. You guys want to go to calls now, or
You want to do calls? You
Yeah,
got anything
yeah,
else
yeah.
you want to touch on?
nah? I'm cool.
All right,
I'm cool.
cool.
Thanks, man.
Ryan, do you have any stories or anything you want to bring
I
up?
was going to bring up. I listen to you. I'm hearing you guys talk about all these other like console type games. I would call it if the one player type thing, and I'm ruined on games like that now.
On like single player
it's
games?
so hard for me to get into single player games because of the fact that, like exactly what you just said, brought up the whole Steam thing. Like you could see what other people were doing and that kind of thing. World of Warcraft did that to me. Now that I play a first person, only just me, and I play a game, and I'm sitting there in my mind, I'm thinking, gosh, I can just be playing World of Warcraft, and I can be interacting with all of my friends and playing all that. And it's,
I get that, dude.
I know there's people like that.
Yeah.
Like there's people who just play multiplayer only, and that crowd's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Unfortunately,
and like for me, it's the worst in games that are like similar to World of Warcraft,
Yeah.
like other RPGs that are single player only. I feel like I'm wasting my time,
like Dragon Age or something.
Yeah, exactly. Dragon Age is what I was thinking because like when I was playing Dragon Age 2. Because the Origins was just, I could have played that all damn day because I love that game.
It was awesome.
But in Dragon Age 2, it was like, I didn't want to hunt down all these, like, anything cool because no one could fucking see it.
Yeah, achievement type
So
of
it's just like, well, I'll get to the end of this game and then I'm done with it. But like in World of Warcraft, it's like, oh, well, I'm going to work to get something because I can fucking show it off to everyone on the server.
And anybody can walk up to you and see it, that kind of thing. Yeah.
I get it.
But Ryan, you told me once when we were Steam chatting with each other. This is when I falsely believed everyone was really into Steam. I'm like, yeah, I'm talking with Ryan.
Ryan
man.
was perpetuating the lie.
Apparently, when I sent Josh Nance a chat message on Steam, he didn't realize that you could chat on Steam, and he was like just shocked. And I was just like, he told me that recently, but when I sent him a message, I'm like, yeah, I'm chatting on Steam too. You know, I'm part of the group. You know. But Ryan, you told me one time when I chatted you on Steam, you said you really liked Assassin's Creed. Is that still true, or because that's single player, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
Well, it's increasingly multiplayer now.
Yeah, I do like that type of thing. It's not like it's hard for me to get into now.
Oh, okay.
Like it has
All
to
right.
be very, very intriguing and pull me in for me to. It can't be a slow start and just force my way through it.
All right. It's kind of like someone who used to like pizza and now they don't, and they'll still eat it, but it has to be really, really good
Exactly.
pizza. Yeah, yeah.
Well, it's like I am with multitasking. Like, I don't like just doing one single thing. I like doing like 3 or 4 things at once.
No, thank you. That's why I haven't listened to the Serial podcast yet.
Yeah,
because it's one of those things where it's like I know I have to actively listen to that. Like I can't do anything else but listen to that.
See, I've trained myself for listening to books and podcasts that I can still really listen to a book and do other things. Exercise is the easiest. So like I can exercise and I can do P90X and just turn the volume off on P90X and listen to a book and still get everything out of it.
The older I get, the harder it is for me to do that. Like I feel like honestly, I used to be able to do stuff like that, but like for some reason I can't now. I need fish oil. I think would fish oil help me with that?
I think it would.
Okay.
It definitely wouldn't hurt it.
Okay.
We take some calls, yeah.
We got some calls we didn't get to. We got a lot of calls we didn't get to last time. So you guys just let me know when you're tired of doing calls, and we'll stop then.
All right. So I feel like we need to get to whatever Micah called in because Cody stealing his thunder last time. He's like, I've got some would you rathers.
It depends on when Exalted Lord Mike called because we have like a lot of calls, or I can just skip right to his if you want.
No, let's do it. Let's in order.
In chronological order.
TADPOG! Hey, it's Ramon / Countdown of Countdown's Corner, Super Smash Bros., Super Bomberman 2 fame.
What's up, Ramon?
Colin, I have a statement for you, maybe followed by a question. My statement is I am here on Exit 4 in Paducah, and I am wondering, because I went shopping, basically scouring for the last remnants of what I could for my son's Christmas. Oh, I should probably date this so you know when you got this. It's, December 25th, 2014, in case you play this.
It's more recent than I thought it'd be.
Merry Christmas. In case you play it later, Happy New Year. And in case you play it much later, I guess Happy 4th of July.
Happy 2026.
That'll work, right? That covers my bases. Anyway, guys, a bunch of people were telling me how busy it was in Paducah. It doesn't seem that busy. And my thing is it seems that everyone is at the mall trying to escape the mall. Now they've finished their shopping, but nobody seems to remember that there is a back way out of the mall.
Yeah, Old Carroll Road.
So I guess my question is wherever you guys have lived, and obviously you guys live here, but have you ever lived somewhere where there's a line of thinking that everyone has so believed in for so long that no one else seems to know anything different? So, like, I just left the mall by taking exit 3 and then just driving back up. What's the deal with that? Do people not know to do that, or are they just like, oh, I see a line and I get in line? So yeah, what's something that you remembered somewhere you lived, or is there something that you've done? That makes more sense. Is there something that you guys have done and you've always done it the same way that when you are shown a different way how to do it, it just blows your mind? Or are you unwilling to do it that way? That's my question, I guess. That's it, guys. Happy whatever holiday it is. I'll reach out to you if I can, because I'd like to see you guys. But this is at least me saying hey, since I am busy with family stuff. But I really hope I can come by and say hey in the annex. Okay, that's it. Love the show. As always, bye.
That was, like, at first, Ramon just kept on talking, and I kind of started thinking other stuff. But he actually asked a really good question. A really good question. I thought it was pretty cool.
Do you have an answer?
I know what I'm going to say, but I want to hear what other people say first.
I need to think. Well, those spoilers, though, Ramon did not end up being able to come by.
Yeah.
So we miss you, Ramon. Sorry.
Also, Merry Christmas to you as well. I don't know who told you Paducah was busy. It could have been. Since I've moved back here, I've been to the mall one time, begrudgingly went to the mall because Frankel told me that there was a good Chinese restaurant in the food court. It was pretty okay.
I saw it. It's called Asian Wok.
Yeah.
I saw it.
Yeah.
I saw that. Yeah, it's like the most typical. It's like an Asian restaurant on South Park. Asian Wok,
yes.
or something like that.
I was really excited because he said it was really good, and it wasn't bad. But I remember sitting in the food court eating and being like, "I'm in the fucking mall for this." I
Came to the mall to have a meal.
Right. I could have gone to Chong's. I know it's not authentic Chinese food, but neither is this.
Yeah. That's more like your Panda Express kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a really boring answer. My really boring answer is I didn't know for the longest time that in Mac OS you could preview a file by selecting it in the Explorer and hitting the space bar. Like it'll play a video, it'll play a music file, it'll preview a photograph. It's completely spoiled me whenever I'm working in a Windows environment because I'll click on a file and hit the space bar because it saves so much time because it's like a PDF. If you hit space bar, it just opens it up in a pop-up window. The Acrobat doesn't have to fucking load.
So it saves you time.
Yeah, and then you can just hit the up and down arrows and it just scrolls through your file list and you can just preview them all as opposed to opening up the files in whatever program that need to be open. So that's my incredibly boring answer.
And our 2 Mac listeners will understand that.
Yeah.
I'm making fun of Mac people. Who uses a Macintosh? Even I know no one uses that.
Sam, you know what's up. You know what I'm talking about with that
True.
space bar.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters. As long as I got Sam on my side, it's fine.
But that's the sign of anyone who's in graphic design uses a Macintosh, right?
Yeah, it's
Anyone who's an
kinda
artist uses a Macintosh.
It's the industry standard, yeah.
I run into this kind of thing all the time, because it's kind of a staple in the culinary world. Because any way you've been taught to do things, there's always like a more efficient way or a faster way or a way to do it slightly different to get a different product.
Please say wash your hands.
I didn't know, like, you're supposed to wash your hands.
Like some guy's just showing you got to do this before you make food. Oh my God, this changes everything.
What, you sing happy birthday while you do it? That's the length of the... Okay, shit.
Is that the rule?
Yeah, you're supposed to do it for the length of time that you can sing happy birthday to yourself.
The whole song? Mm-hmm. That's a long ass time to wash your hands, man. Interesting. What temperature is the water supposed to be?
As hot as you can stand it.
Scalding.
Just as hot as
Scalding.
you can physically stand it.
Boil a pot and put your hands in there. Sing happy birthday.
I am now clean.
So do you sing? Do you do this? Is this what you do now to this day?
He has to lie because he prepares food.
Yeah. So absolutely.
Absolutely, Jason.
Because like the most recent thing I could think of is like dicing an onion. Because before culinary school, the way I would dice an onion is just kind of freestyle, just cut it into smaller pieces and cut it into smaller
Freestyle
pieces.
that bitch.
And then at culinary school, I learned about cutting it in half and then taking half of it and taking 2 segments 3/4 of the way through it horizontally and then making like 8 different cuts vertically. And then you can use that to get a fine dice really quickly.
Oh, if you want to cut it finely.
Yeah.
If you don't want to cut it
You
finely,
want to cut it,
don't do that.
and you do a rough chop, but even then, it's still quicker for me to dice a whole onion like that.
What's the trick to cutting an onion without making
Crying.
yourself cry like a
Chewing
little girl?
gum.
Chewing gum? Mm-hmm. You just chew like Bubblicious or something while you do it? Really?
How does that work?
I don't know,
But it does.
but it does.
Interesting.
Wow.
Well, Big Red work.
Or add my last job. When I had to do the chewing gum was ineffective. The amount of onions I would have to cut at my last job. Because like I would take a meat slicer and have to cut onions like paper thin on that meat slicer, like buckets and buckets of onions. So gum's not going to do the trick. So what I would have to do then is chew gum, and I would take saran wrap and make basically a Cyclops mask out of saran wrap and tie that super tight. And that could get me through without getting the fumes most of the way through. But by the very end, that Cyclops visor saran wrap is like full of tears.
Oh, no.
So,
You're like the sixth Ninja Turtle, the one that wears the clear bandana.
the clear eyed bandana full of tears. But now that I recently learned, it was a video of the guy who, I can't remember his name, I should, but he taught Gordon Ramsay. And he taught a different way to do onions. Because basically, kind of the thing is with onions and garlic is if you've seen Goodfellas, because when they're in jail, they talk about slicing garlic so thin that it dissolves in your pasta sauce.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the goal with like doing onions so fine in a lot of things. It's almost like they're not there. You just get the flavor and everything, but they're just not in there. They're so fine. So he shows like how to dice them even finer and even quicker. So it's just like no matter what you do, there's always a better way to do it. So you're always learning from anybody you meet. Everyone will do something different and want something done a different way.
I got a really important question. Why have you never used the Cyclops saran wrap visor as glasses for
I don't
a
know.
game?
I will now.
Yeah, don't spoil it. Don't spoil it for future ones, right?
That was my Culture glasses.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I hope not.
Yeah, or an X-Men game glasses. Some not future X-Men game glasses. Also, Tadpog fans, I don't know if you could hear it, but as Tyler was talking about onions and garlic, his stomach rumbled really loudly.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it did.
Someone's did. I wasn't sure who it was.
Yeah. It's getting hungry up in here. Talking about garlic and onions.
I also like garlic and onions.
Yeah.
I do hate how my hands perpetually smell like garlic and onions.
And how
I
they're
hate it so
ineffectual
much.
at picking up wheat.
Yep.
As soon as he asked that question, I immediately knew what I would say. Immediately. And it's the way that I wipe my ass.
That you wipe your ass.
Yeah.
Not
Man,
light your ass.
no,
you don't light it on
wipe,
fire.
wipe,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Please tell me this is a
Because-
stand-up versus a...
No, it's
Sit
the
down.
sit. No, I seen Danielle wipe her ass.
She's going to love this.
And
Wow.
yeah,
She's your wife.
Okay.
Can I see too?
We're all going to dress up like Street Fighter characters and show up at your house. Is that cool?
Can I watch this too while Tyler dresses up as Eon and smacks you around? I want to watch it at the same time.
But I always wipe my ass this way,
Which is...
which is
But you got to describe it to the lit people listening, Tadpog fans.
My hand goes in between my legs.
from the front.
From the
Yeah,
front.
from the front.
Yeah, it's got to go in between your legs somehow, right? Yeah,
and,
okay.
And the first time
I
I
know.
ever seen
God,
Danielle
I know
wipe her
why
ass,
you did that. I know why you wipe your ass like
So
that.
you-
And
Wow.
then she wipes her ass like this,
That's
like
how I
like
wipe
everybody,
too.
like
That's how I
everybody
wipe
else.
too,
But I
yeah.
don't do that. And
What the hell? You've been reverse wiping this whole time? Wait, I gotta try this though. But
No, there's
no?
stuff in the way.
Did you try it, Dave? Did you? How do you?
No,
know?
there's just stuff in the way.
well, it's not. There's not stuff in the way because you don't pull the toilet paper back up.
You just drop it.
You just
You
drop
just
it.
wipe it
Yeah.
straight up your balls.
Yeah, but there's that.
No. Why does shit? Whenever I'm on, it's always about shit and poopy and stuff like that. That's not planned. I don't want to be associated with that. If I run for senator one day. All right.
If you run for senator, the Tifa plushie might be fun. You're gonna kickstart that.
Yeah. But did you keep on wiping that way or?
So the first time you
Still
saw
do that.
Danielle do that, you were like,
I
"Why
was
are
like,
you going that way?"
Like when I had the steam
Exactly
revelation
what I
too, we
said.
just had these revelations. Like I've been living a lie this whole time.
She's like, you wipe up?
That's the appropriate response. I think.
wow.
So you changed.
No.
No, you're
I wonder how many
it's
people
just
in
a
the
different way of doing things.
Yeah.
But think about it. I wonder how many other people in the world are doing that because how many times you see another person wipe their ass, right? You don't see it, right? So they could be lots of other people doing that and they listen to this podcast and they have this revelation.
now they have
too.
knowledge.
Yeah, yeah.
Shake. I know you said you had your answer.
Man, it's not funny though because I wish I could say something funny.
I wasn't
'cause
funny either.
I was
wasn't
thinking like, but your stomach rumbled, and that's really funny. That's
the
really
punchline.
funny. That's really funny that your stomach rumbled. But in Japan, man, well, there's two things, okay? And this is like crazy, but it's straight up real. All right, I couldn't make this up if I tried.
There's a tiny airplane.
No. But like first thing is, and this isn't as crazy as the second thing, but the first thing is in Japan, if you get sick, you don't take showers or baths. And they're like, you can't take showers or baths. And that's like common sense to them. They're like, oh yeah, And so
Why not?
people just get smelly and stinky when they're sick. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, why not? And they're just like, oh, it's common sense. It's just like they don't have a reason why. And I'm sure when they come to America, they pick out things that I can't think of at the time that we do crazy things to and we don't have a reason why, right? Like, why do you do this with the Polaroids?
Right.
Why do you flip it through the air? But like,
because we're from the past.
yeah, but the reason is like if you get on the internet and you do research, the reason is because in the past in like ancient Japan, like samurai times and stuff, there all the baths were outside. The hot baths, cold baths too, were outside. Yeah, and if you are sick, it's not good to go outside and get in water. Even hot water. That's not good for your body actually. It's just like if it's not good for them to go from a pool to a hot tub. Have you guys heard that?
Right.
And then back and forth.
Right.
It's not good when it's cold outside to go into a hot bath or something.
I guess it makes sense too if they were like communal too.
Yeah,
because you don't want to get.
Well,
other
yeah, I
people
didn't even
sick.
think of the communal part. Maybe you found a new aspect, Dave. But but Japanese people don't know that reason. Only foreigners who actually care to research find out why. Yeah, and then if you tell that to Japanese people, they're like, oh, okay, that's why. But they're still not going to take a bath or take a shower when they're sick because that's the way they were raised.
Interesting.
But then this really crazy thing, and I'm sure if I researched enough on the internet, I could find it. But I choose not to because I like talking to people about it and not knowing the reason why. But in Japan, okay, I'm dead serious about this. They have stoplights just like we do. They have red, yellow, and green. Okay. And it means the same stuff.
Okay.
But the word for green is midori. Okay. That's the Japanese word for green. Now, when they see the green light, just like when we're driving, we say, oh, green. Time to go.
Right.
Oh, the light's green. So they don't say midori. They say aoi. And aoi means blue. And I'm like, why do you guys say blue? And they're like, I don't know. We just do. And I'm like, but it's not blue. And when I first learned this, I was just starting to study abroad in Japan, and I thought maybe I got the colors wrong.
Right.
Maybe aoi is green and midori is blue, And if you ask Japanese people, they're like, yeah, I thought when I first learned as a kid that we're supposed to say aoi for stoplights, I thought it was crazy too. And I'm like, well, did you ever do any research and try to find out why? And they're like, no. Yeah, I just thought it was weird within too, but now I'm used to it.
They're like, no, I just want to talk to people about it.
Yeah.
Well, they're all about conforming to society, right? So would they by nature question anything like that, or that's just the way things are?
Well, when you start saying they're all about conforming to society, I gotta be careful because it sounded like almost
I'm putting huge labels.
Them Americans are all about just eating shit and getting fucked up.
Oh, that's true.
Right. Yeah.
That's a good question, but all I know is I still think it's shocking. And whenever I have to say it to my friends, like when we're waiting at the stoplight, we're not driving usually, we're walking, and the stoplight turns green, I have to say, "Oi." And I feel so weird saying that. And I look at them, and they're like, just keep on going. I'll never get used to that.
And they turn around and e-Honda you.
And I think even
was
if
the emperor colorblind? And
I don't know.
He said that.
This is a Tadpog mystery. This is a Tadpog mystery, but this is one of those things where even when people have brought it up, obviously that it's not green. They still keep on doing it, just like the thing Ramon was talking about.
All right, Tony, here's your greatest question yet. Find out why that is.
Fly to Japan and figure it out. No internet research. You got to fly to Japan and figure it out.
But thanks, Ramon. Those are good questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry we missed you, and sorry that everyone told you Paducah was busy. It wasn't. Got another voicemail. Google Translate. First sentence says mother. So let's see how this goes.
It's about the game Mother, also called Earthbound.
Mother fucking
No, it's not.
Tadpog. Now, I just listened to the Monday show. Good show. Besides one part. Tyler, what is going on that you're playing fucking Kim Kardashian Hollywood? I mean, if you're really considering doing that for a Monday show, I think that's the day it's time to go get a gun and just end it all. Man, I'm in shock.
I was too. He plays it all the time.
But fuck it, let's hear it.
That's it. And Tyler, I know that you have been having this argument in your mind.
He plays
since
it
you
all
start
the time.
playing game. See, I know you have your response ready to roll. Let's hear it.
Well, at first I thought it was just going to it'd be funny to talk about that and then other freemium games. Then I started to enjoy it. So it is now my go-to shitting game.
What-
You do it all the time, Tyler, even when you're just like hanging out with me.
Well, you
Not
could,
your-
you could only really
I'm talking to you about deep shit that means a lot to me. And you've got this Kim Kardashian wheel spinning, right? And I'm like, man,
That's
I
not
spent all that
multitasking.
time rating your shit up in Steam. I'm talking about deep shit, and you're just playing the Kim Kardashian game. Your
Really?
stomach's rumbling. Your stomach's rumbling.
you can only play it about a minute and a half every 2.5 hours if you're not going to spend any money. So, I mean, I check it out about every 2 hours because that's about how often I can actually play it. Because I'm damn sure not going to spend any money on it.
It's somehow magical whenever I want to talk to Tyler about deep stuff.
sorry,
he
got my-
pulls
got
it
my
out, the
game.
Kim Kardashian thing. And now that I know that, if he pulls it out like in the space of like 10 minutes, I know he's just trying to not listen to me. There is no game that he's playing. He just doesn't want to listen to me, and he's like pretending he's doing something. Who was that listener, by the way? Do you guys know?
They didn't identify themselves.
Oh.
It's 651.
You don't have to say the no. Oh, okay. Sorry.
I always get 651 and 615 flip flop. So I don't know what area code
It was likely either Fish Lips, Jay, or Cody.
That guy was
Cody,
pretty
yeah.
funny. All right.
Here's a call from 270, which is our local area code. I'm not gonna spoil who it is. I'll let her do that for herself.
Okay.
But Google Translate first sentence says, "Hello, Dad."
Dave, you got a daughter out there, it sounds like.
Hello, Tadpog. This is Sharon Landon. It is my 30th birthday, and I just want to tell you how much I love your show. And my question to you is, what's your preference between blondes and brunettes? What's your preference? Your preference? Yeah, I'm drunk, and I said preference. You know what? I only turned 31, and so suck all your dicks. It's my 30th birthday. I love you long time. I love you, Tadpog. You're my favorite. That's the only podcast I listen to. Good night. Bye-bye.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, Taryn.
I mean, I think it's pretty obvious, especially for you, Tyler.
Yeah.
I mean, we've mentioned your preference on the show before. Bees.
Yeah. Bees. I love getting stung by bees.
The whole time Taryn was talking, I was just imagining Dave getting chased by bees. And I'm like, it's true. It's true.
No, I've only dated one blonde in my entire life. I much prefer brunettes. The darker, the better.
Me too. But nothing against blondes. I would date a blonde. I don't care.
I don't really have a preference. It all depends. It depends because, like, this is what it depends on: amount of body hair. A lot of body hair, blonde. Blonde, because it's so much easier to like just pretend like it's not there. Not a lot of body hair, brunette. It's fine. It also depends on like skin tone too. So I mean, it gets into a whole thing. I would honestly go with the hidden option. Like if this were Final Fantasy XI and I was trying to unlock Ninja, I would choose redhead.
Me too.
So that I would go with secret option C, redhead.
Ryan, your preference?
Redhead.
Redhead.
But it's so hard to find a hot redhead.
Right, it's one or the other, right?
Yeah, I don't want a ginger, like a freckles and I don't know.
So that
That's
can
not my
be
preference.
hot.
Yeah,
It
it can definitely be
I
hot.
feel like a
but-
redhead is either super hot or just not at all.
Right, and yeah. Sometimes
That's
freckles
what I
can
mean.
come
That's
into
what I
play,
mean,
but
yeah.
but sometimes not.
Just so all our Tadpog listeners know, it's like 4 degrees outside. And it's so cold in here. And we turned the heat off because we don't want it to affect the sound.
For
But
your listening pleasure.
we're in the middle of this like super freeze out now. And I think Tadpog listeners should demand that you put up pictures of the Christmas tree. It's badass.
okay.
It
The
is
Christmas tree is awesome here. It's got like NES controllers and N64 controllers as ornaments. Like
All credit to Meg.
Yeah,
Meg's the one
yeah.
that did that.
Keep it up all.
Tadpog fans,
I'm not taking it
Demand
down.
Year round,
So
yeah.
it's going to function as our light source for the rest of the year.
Demand it, or else give Dave the bees.
One thing I feel like I should say, and if she's way behind, so I don't know when she'll listen to this, but honestly, the only person who like I think looks really good as a blonde. Normally, I prefer brunettes.
Yeah.
But the person who, when I saw her as a blonde, I was like, that looks really good. Is Nicole Nance. Whenever I remember the first day she dyed her hair like
I thought she
platinum
is blonde. I thought she is blonde.
You pointed at her and said, "That looks really good."
I thought she was a
So
blonde.
she walked in, I was like, "Your hair looks really good."
Yeah.
The very first time I saw her.
Yeah, it did look really good.
No, she's a brunette now. She was even here
No.
like a few days
Because
ago.
I think when I first met her, she was blonde. In my mind, I just think of her as a blonde.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I think of her as blonde too.
Yeah.
So Taryn said something about sucking dicks. What was that about?
Well, she's 30 now, so she's just taking dicks. Just if you can stop by Nashville and catch her before she moves.
Is that why at certain points when she was talking, it sounded like the phone was really far away from her?
She was probably like trying to avoid dicks as she's
What
walking
was
down
going
the street.
on? I don't know. Hey, look, it's the same night, and she called us back. So
Yeah.
let's see what that's all about.
Fucking Tadpog, this is Taryn again. You told me to leave a message. So I'm at the Taco Bell Pizza Hut drive-in. I'm just wondering, what's your favorite color? Number one, because I'm drunk and I want to know your favorite color. Number two, I want to know what your favorite order is from Taco Bell. Mine is definitely some kind of chalupa. I love you long time. Tadpog, you're my favorite. I am an honor to be on your podcast. Thank you so much. Love you long time. Bye-bye.
I'm just going to listen to that when I feel lonely. Sorry, Taryn. I'm just going to do it.
Did someone show Taryn the second half of Full Metal Jacket right as she was getting drunk? I don't.
Favorite color, Tyler? I know yours is clear. We've done this before. Yeah, we've done this before.
Man, it makes Tony so frustrated.
Your favorite color is clear?
That's what I always say because I don't have one.
Oh, okay.
So, favorite order at Taco Bell then?
See, I'm a Taco John's man, but I guess.
But most of our listeners probably don't know what Taco John's is.
Yeah, it's a much smaller franchise.
There's too much Mexican going on for everyone else.
Even when I go to Lexington, Kentucky, and I say Taco John's, they're like, "What's that?" It sounds like you combine Taco Bell and Papa John's.
That's exactly what it is. That should be your response.
Yeah.
So when I go to Taco Bell, see, I don't like hard shell tacos.
Why is that?
Well, there are two different foods. Well, I guess really there are three foods that I was fed so much when I was little that I don't like that anymore. So I go for the opposite. One, that's all, Ryan, you can testify to this, all Mom made were hard shell tacos. So all I want now are soft shell tacos.
See, I'm right the opposite though.
Yeah.
I hate soft shell tacos.
Because you were growing on the hard shell?
I'm
with you, man.
shell.
I can't do soft shell.
We get the mixed thing, and Danielle only eats soft shell, and I only eat hard shell.
Nikki and I are the same way. Well, she doesn't only eat soft shell, but like with soft shell, I just feel like I'm getting cheated. It feels like there's less food.
It's like you're eating a burrito.
Yeah, like a shitty burrito.
I'm also fine with that. And then
Ryan's a hard shell reverse wiping man. Hard shell eating reverse wiping man. That's how he lives his life, and that's okay with me.
Crunchy peanut butter. We only had smooth. No matter how much I would beg for it, she would only buy smooth peanut butter. So now I much prefer crunchy. And then I don't eat canned green beans anymore. I'm so sick and burnt out of canned green beans. That's just, don't do it. I don't do it.
Right now, Tyler's mother is listening, and a single tear comes down her eye.
Maybe.
Yeah. I thought you loved those canned green beans.
Man, that was her go-to vegetable for like every fucking meal. So I just
spaghetti, green beans.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Every time.
Well, a lot of people had salad. Like, no, we always had green beans with spaghetti.
Still do.
Put hair in your chest.
So your answer is nothing. You ordered
Green
nothing.
beans boiled with a piece of bacon in the pot.
Mm-hmm. That's some Southern food right there.
So my order, it's soft shell taco or some kind of I like the grilled steak burrito.
If I'm going through that drive-through, I normally even if I show up and I'm like, I'm gonna get some Taco Bell, I always come out of that line with KFC. Because it's like, oh, it's the same building. I forgot. I would rather have chicken. So usually I come out with the grilled chicken breast.
You sounded very Mitch Hedberg. I would rather have chicken.
But I guess if I'm forced to, I got to get one of those Doritos tacos. Because, I think I've talked about this on the show before, but that was one of those foods that I was like, I wanted to try. And then when I tried it, I was like, damn it, why is this so good? Because I felt so bad and embarrassed for enjoying it. Because I was like, I'm a fucking redneck. Crunch, crunch, crunch.
What's wrong with that? Enjoying the Doritos tacos. Come on, man.
Shake, what's your
The
go-to?
Doritos tacos, man. What's wrong with enjoying that? And
You fucking redneck.
what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that, man?
Which
And what's
kind?
wrong with being a redneck too, man?
Well,
I'm all about being more country.
You're far away from it. You're removed from it. It's
but
different.
now that I live in Japan, when I come back, I speak as country as I can. You guys know this, right? I try to make so many analogies and allegories, I'll be like,
I'm as hungry as a rabbit on a haystack, you guys.
I guess my eyes were better than my stomach, or something like that. And on the Tadpog podcast, I'm trying to talk as Southern as possible because it's badass. And man, being Southern is badass. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's got to be the Doritos Locos Tacos. And what they used to have, which is really good, you used to have lava tacos before I went to Japan. Do you remember that, Dave? Mm-mm. All right, but you remember that, Tyler?
Yeah.
Were they really spicy?
Yes,
yeah,
very good.
It was the red taco shell.
Yeah.
Oh, I know they did the spicy nacho Dorito shell, which
that was purple, right?
Yeah, I know it was just the regular red color, which the nacho cheese taco shell was my go-to, and then I tried that Cool Ranch bullshit when it came out, and I was like, not as good as the nacho cheese.
Yeah.
And then they came out with the spicy nacho Dorito shell, and that was where it was.
Which they were always planning from the beginning.
But yeah.
If they came out with spicy first, and they're like, and now we've got the nacho cheese version, no one's gonna buy that.
Do it.
Oh, the slightly less spicy version? Yeah, let's get that.
It's the long con. But the Taco John's, man, you might not know this, Shake and Ryan, but we're like always pushing for a Taco John's sponsorship.
We're gonna get that one day.
Yeah.
So my answer would really be, you got to get a fiery Cheetos burrito, a flaming hot Cheetos burrito.
They have that at Taco John's?
Not anymore, unfortunately.
They made a partnership with Cheetos?
They made a partnership with Cheetos. And I had to try, once again, like I'm through the drive-thru on a Taco Tuesday. I'm like, I'm going to eat for $3 today. And then I see it up on the sign. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm going to eat for $6 because Chester Cheetah's on there, and they made a burrito out of him.
Well, at Taco Bell, they have Fritos things now. They made a partnership with
really?
Fritos. I went there yesterday, and I got it, and I was really pumped up about it. And there were very few Fritos in it at all, and the Fritos were all at the end in one like kind of thing, and so I was disappointed. But it was still. That's
what I hate when my McFlurry has all like the M&Ms on top.
Man, fuck
like
a
only
McFlurry.
the top 25% is M&M, and then it's just
fuck
vanilla.
a McFlurry, man. It's like they don't even try.
Yeah, fuck a McFlurry, man. Fuck a McFlurry, man. Fuck that.
You ever hear of a Blizzard?
Yeah.
They do it right at Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
Ryan, what
got
about
your
you?
ass.
I'd say cheesy Fiesta potatoes. It's like the potatoes, and they're just covered in nacho cheese and sour cream.
Versus potato olays at Taco John's. Which you're going for?
I don't know. It just depends.
It's tough.
Yeah.
See, I can't eat nacho cheese. Like I can't do it anymore. I just don't.
Yeah. You don't process it anymore.
It tastes so like fake to me now. I just.
really?
I
just
love
can't
that
eat
fake though, man. I don't really like real food. That's true. I just don't really like real food.
I think that got burned out of me when I worked at Pizza Hut, and like we would get in those like giant bags. We'd have to heat up in vats, and then we'd spurt them out like ketchup onto everything.
Yeah,
like
sounds great.
And just like that orange, like the color of it is the same as like Homer Simpson's skin.
Yeah.
So I just like man, I couldn't do it after
delicious skin.
Simpson's skin.
This is a little off topic, but Shay, when you were talking about when you come back here, you talk as country as possible. What do people say when you talk in English in Japan? Do they ever when you come here, we're always like, oh, say this in Japanese. Or they
I haven't done it this year at all though. Not here. Oh, once you did. Once. That's it. But go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
But when you're in Japan, do they ever say, how do you say this in English? Do they ever ask that? Or does everyone have a general understanding of English?
Not really, because English is not seen as exotic as we see Japanese, because there's way more English speakers in the world.
Yeah.
And it is kind of the world language unofficially, whereas Japanese is not. And because every person studies English to some extent. In elementary school, middle school, and high school, where that's not the case with Japanese here.
Right.
So no, it's not like, say this in English, And I'm like, all right, I'm going to say it. Here you go.
Get ready.
Yeah.
Because I remember say anything in Japanese, Shake, and you say something, and Japanese people say something in English, suck a dog's dick, and they all just like, oh, that was so good, that was so cool.
Yeah.
All right, so the real question, that was just the lead up question. Mm-hmm. That was the nacho cheese Doritos shell.
All right, now you're getting the spicy, fiery one.
This is the fiery.
Yeah, all right.
Does your American accent do Japanese women do they find that attractive?
No, I don't.
Really?
Not that I know of. No one. I've never heard of that. Are there guys? I guess what you're assuming is there's guys in America who find Japanese accent attractive.
Well, I just know there are a lot of people in America who find foreign accents appealing.
Really?
Like English accents.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
Scottish
Definitely British
accents and
accents,
stuff like
Scottish.
that.
But I don't know about non-English accents. You know what I'm saying? Like Chinese
Like
or Japanese.
different-
I haven't really heard that from anyone, but if they exist, but I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Now, since we're on accents, I actually swear to God, I thought about bringing this up before the podcast, but I didn't want to. I didn't know if it's territory I should not cross. But one time, I asked Dave. I just realized I'm like, Dave, you're from Kentucky, right?
You're allergic to bees, right?
I'm like, Dave, you're from Kentucky, right? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, why don't you talk like us? And you're like, what do you mean? I'm like, you don't have a Southern accent. And he's like, because I don't. And the way you said it was like a way that I better not ask any other questions because I wasn't going to like the answer I was going to hear. I'm sure it was going to be an argument time.
Dave's like Shadow. He killed that side of himself.
And I'm not going to ask you, Dave, on podcast, but I would like the Tadpog fans to demand an answer.
I'll answer you. I'll answer you.
No, I don't want it, Dave. I don't want it. I want the Tadpog fans to demand.
Close your ears.
All right.
Because the real answer is, I came from underground in your backyard. Where there is
That's pretty good.
I speak,
Pretty funny, Dave.
I speak bug language.
Well, Nicole doesn't have one either, but she consciously
I do.
wanted to be different.
I'm sure.
I do.
I'm sure it's no.
There-
you don't.
it's
you sound
very,
like you're
very
from the
few
Midwest.
very,
Like,
very few words
You
do
sound like
do
you're
you
from
say
a
like
place
that.
called Oklahoma or one of those places.
A place called quote unquote
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
One of those places that I've never been to, but I've heard about. You know,
Fuck you, Blake.
Midwest.
We want to take some more? We want to do some more?
Yeah, let's do another one.
All right. This is fun. I like it. Thank you for calling again, Taryn.
How did it get to accents somehow from Taryn's question?
Just conversation. Just
Yeah,
beautiful,
man.
natural, organic conversation.
Man.
This is a text message from 904 who says, Tadpog large intestine, period. It's one of our favorites. Marry, fuck, kill. What is it? Wed, behead?
Wed, bed, behead.
Okay.
Or like I said, like Jacob said, which I thought was a really funny joke Jacob made when he said, marry, hold hand, or break heart. That was so funny. He's a really funny guy, Jacob.
Man, I wish I had like laser sounds or something.
That was
But
last podcast.
Every time you make a dig at Jacob, just
No, it was funny. I'm not making a dig. I thought it was really funny. It was the last
except the Chief
podcast.
doll. That was a
For
dig.
all you new time listeners, it was 2 podcasts ago, right?
Yep.
Yep.
2. Okay.
So here's what we got. He's given us second-rate comedians, and this is in his words because I think all of these are very funny. Gallagher, Carrot Top, or Rob Schneider. Now he said Gallagher, not Gallagher 2. So take that into consideration if it has anything to do with your answer.
Well, see, God, I used to.
They're also
Oh,
really
man.
funny though. That it's hard.
Gallagher's. I mean, you just think about him smashing fruit,
And it's just-
But his actual stand-up, some of it's actually pretty good. Like he used to make me like laugh so fucking hard when I was younger.
While you were smacking
you were younger.
Ryan around as he Honda, you were watching Gallagher smacking Ryan around and be like, oh my God, his stand-up is actually good. Why does he only smash fruit? Why?
No, his stand-up really did make me laugh when I was a kid. I've never watched Gallagher since, and I'm afraid to. It's one of those things where it's like I'm kind of afraid to watch DuckTales again because it's like I don't want to sit there and be like, "Oh my God, this is garbage."
But I would marry Gallagher because I think he can stand the test of time. I'm gonna fuck Carrot Top.
he's
'cause
dead,
If you've
so
seen
that's
Carrot
not
Top,
true.
he's fucking
He's
ripped. And then I'm gonna kill Rob Schneider because like unless he's a sensitive naked guy, then I just don't really see his value. He hasn't been funny to me since Saturday Night Live.
Or what? Copy guy.
Copy guy, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Make
not
him
even. I can't even. I
copies.
can't even do it.
Let's do
I can't
it.
even do it.
The rest of the episode, we'll talk like that. Man, this is hard because Gallagher, man, shady character, right? Shady character because with like Gallagher 2, like they're twins, right? And like one of them, is it an urban legend? Like one of them died and then the other took over the act, or like one of them
scary.
like absorbed the other in the movie.
I actually don't know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
there's a Gallagher. There's Gallagher, and that's who like we remember.
Yeah.
And like he's got a twin brother, and his act is he's Gallagher 2, Roman numeral 2. I don't know if any of this is fact, but let's look it up online when we're done.
Oh man.
And so yeah, I guess it's his brother, and he like just does a routine that the original Gallagher did. So gotta go. Man, I'd say behead, but he's got a fucking sledgehammer or big mallet that he smashes fruit with. So maybe that's not going to be as easy as I think. So we'll go with, oh man, tough. I don't think I could live with him forever, so I can't marry him either. I guess I'm just going to fuck him.
Okay.
I guess I'm just going to
fair.
fuck him. And then Rob Schneider, he's friends, or he was friends with Adam Sandler. And like, that's how like all the shitty movies he did like became a reality. Maybe I'm still hoping he's got that connection to Adam Sandler. He's got the Adam Sandler Skrilla coming in, you know?
Surely.
So I guess I'm gonna marry Rob Schneider, and then we can play copy guy at night under the covers when we get scared. And then and Josh can watch. It's fine. It's not a fantasy or anything. I haven't thought it out. And then that leaves Carrot Top. What do I have to do with Carrot Top? I have to kill him.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'll take once Gallagher's had his way with me, I'll take that mallet and use that on Carrot
Because
Top.
by now it's a +5 weapon.
Right.
It's absorbed all that laughter and all that fruit death.
Melon Bane.
Yeah.
And then Rob Schneider will be so impressed with how I dispose of Carrot Top that he'll offer me his hand in marriage.
It's pretty good.
And Josh too.
Brian?
I haven't watched them enough to make a
Yeah,
good thing.
me too.
No?
But I will say that I when I saw Gallagher when I was little, I would always cry because I thought it was so sad that he was wasting all that fruit.
Really?
And I thought I mean that's a perfectly good watermelon. Why would
Yeah.
you shatter it? You know, and it's just a kid. It really bothered me and upset me.
That's
a
You
whole
still
lot.
hate when people waste
I mean,
food.
it would how I would feel now as an adult if he just had a small child up there and he just smashed a small child with a hammer and the blood went everywhere and he's just I'm just oh my god, why is this happening?
Oh,
Why
chaotic
is this
evil
happening?
Gallagher
Yeah.
smashes
Why
kids.
is this happening?
So Ryan, nothing?
Nothing.
Nothing?
All
Okay.
I remember is smashing fruit.
Okay. Is that a turn on or no?
A little bit.
All right. Well, okay. Well, that answers one of those.
I think that's gonna be the name of Ryan's autobiography. It's all I remember is smashing fruit. How I was beat up by my brother when he dressed up as E Honda.
Side wiping and fruit smashing.
Yeah.
That question was from Jordan. Jordan Miro? Jordan, call us.
Okay.
Call us to let us know how to pronounce your name.
Yeah.
I had to ask this to Chandra as well. So you're gonna have for now I'm just gonna call you Jordan Meow because I like that.
I like that,
And I
too.
like cats. And I like this question. So
And we like the Sona Jordan from Diablo 2. So
yeah.
It's good.
And I just want
It's
to set the
good.
record straight. Like I don't feel like my voice wasn't my tone wasn't dripping with sarcasm when I said that all those comedians were good. So I just want to set that record straight. I got a voicemail from 321. I think that's a new one. Maybe.
Guys, Tyler, Dave, it's Paul.
It's Paul.
Dave reminded me that it's been so long since I've called that I need to make another one. So this is your fucking call. Not drunk, not sad, just a call. Fucking enjoy it.
Thanks, Paul.
Was that it?
Thanks, Paul.
Hey, I got something to say. So today I went to Super Walmart, right? And I was shocked to see on the shelves Diablo 2.
What?
Diablo 2 at Super Walmart.
Why was Diablo 2 on the shelf?
And it was the box where it has Diablo 2, the expansion pack, and a strategy guide for
Yeah.
$19.96.
For $20?
Yes.
Wow.
Diablo 2. Man, and I'm
That wasn't in
I
the
didn't know-
bargain
I didn't
bin?
know. No, it was on the shelf, and Diablo 3 was below it. Diablo 3 was below it.
And it was $4.
And that makes me wonder, they didn't have the original StarCraft, but I was just shocked that they're still saying Diablo 2 at Walmart. And I think people are going to be disappointed if they buy it and they realize there's, you can't just install it. You have to get to do a couple tricks to get it working
That's
on modern
true.
computers.
Yeah.
Now,
I didn't even think about that. You're right.
Yeah.
The main thing
You got
that,
Windows 95?
that I remember from Diablo 2, I remember Tyler had his Valkyrie, and I think was it you that had your golem?
Yes, that's right. I had a necromancer.
And you were betting whose was stronger, and you had them fight each other.
I was
don't know
so
why I
positive,
remember
and
that.
Shake
Yeah.
destroyed
Yes,
me.
yes, I destroyed everyone I fought in that game.
Because you had the power of lag on your side. Because you could put.
Oh, look at this little bitch. Oh,
look
Tyler Little Bitch Holland. That's
No,
your new
you're right.
nickname.
You're 100%
Yeah.
me with my single battery.
Rematch!
The
Rematch!
lag,
Let's go to Walmart. I got $20. Let's figure this shit out.
versus the lag of 40 skeletons and a golem. No way.
Yeah, let's call this
No
Little
way.
Bitch podcast. Yeah, come on, man. Sorry, you saved that for your Little Bitch podcast. This is TADPOG. Come on, man.
No, the power of lags is good.
Thanks for calling, Paul. We asked and you delivered.
He was a little sad. Paul, I think Paul's always a little sad.
Really?
A little sad.
He didn't sound sad to me. He kind of sounded angry.
Here's your fucking call.
Yeah, he sounded annoyed that I asked him, Paul, it's just because I love you, man. It's just because I want to share my life with you, Josh, and Rob Schneider. It's not a big deal. Shake, I'm really glad you brought up Diablo 2 because it made me think of Diablo 3, which made me think about, Ryan, what we were talking about earlier. That's my experience going through Diablo 3 was like, this is all fucking worthless.
Yeah.
I could be playing Warcraft and like people could be like seeing the shit that I get instead of like just these 3 people. We got more. We have an endless well.
Let me do one more.
One more? Shake, you in for one more? Ryan, you're on board? Are you sure? All right.
Let's do it.
Next call. This is from St. Zach.
Oh. Bring it in on that one. All right.
TADPOG Nation, St. Zach here.
From the helicopter shop.
Everybody's on leave from the helicopter shop.
Nice.
I'm stuck watching a building that has washers and dryers and a TV and 2 pool tables and nothing else in it. So I'm got to be here and awake for 24 hours. So I'm strung out on monsters and full throttles. And
Too long of
other
a pause.
things of sugary nature and trying to stay awake. So what am I doing? I'm going through my TADPOG backlog. So this is essentially a sleep deprived / I wish I was drunk, but I feel really, really inebriated. Anyway, I just got the MFK episode or part.
And then Zach just decided to play pool instead. I don't know what happened. MFK episode?
Did you guys make an episode about the game called MDK? Because that'd be badass.
No, but man, I remember that game. That's a throwback.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that game. I don't know what he's talking about.
You know, he mentioned Monster, the power, the energy drink, right? And this started to happen, to be honest with you, like when I went to Japan, but when I go to a gas station now, there's like a whole, when you open the refrigerator doors, there's like orange juice, milk, and there's like this whole door for only Monster drinks.
Yeah.
And there's like a billion different variations, and I'm like, pretty soon the whole damn gas station is just gonna be Monster.
It's a weird subculture because there are people who have they just wear Monster shirts,
Monster
and
clothes.
hats.
Yeah.
They have tattoos of that M. That's one thing I do not understand.
Is it like an Insane Clown Posse thing?
That's the closest thing I can compare it to.
Like, who is drinking someone has got to be hardcore promoting Monster for people to do that.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing a guy with a Monster hat on, and I was just like, that's a drink. That's like the equivalent of seeing the dude in a Coke hat. It's like, yeah, that's a fucking drink. Why are you wearing this?
My mom's favorite picture of me, I have a Coke hat on.
Yeah.
I'm like 4, and I'm using the toilet. I've got a Coke hat on, and I'm eating a pickle. I'm on the toilet.
And you're wiping from front to back.
Beside the Monster is a drink that I thought was ridiculous when I first saw it last year in America called Muscle Milk.
Yeah.
And it says muscle milk, and I'm like, oh, okay. And under that, it says really big, contains no milk. And I'm like, what? And then I'm like, it's like a vitamin water. It says vitamin water, contains no vitamins, nor water. It's just like, why would they call it muscle milk if there's no milk?
Because it's all muscle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
there
all muscle.
I think it's just whey protein is what.
But I mean,
what it
just
mostly
like
is.
It's whey.
Muscle
it's
milk contains no
whey
milk.
protein.
Spaghetti sauce contains no spaghetti or sauce.
Just green beans.
Macaroni and cheese contains no cheese. I mean, it blew my mind when I saw that last year. But
What were you gonna say, Ryan?
No, you were talking about the Monster, like the stickers and all that stuff.
Do you know the answer?
Well, I'm really into the car culture, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And the biggest douchebags have Monster all over their car or wear that kind of thing. And mainly because it's huge on YouTube is Ken Block. Have you ever heard of him?
No.
He makes all
Is it like
the drifting
PewDiePie?
video. Yeah, it has the Gymkhana videos and
Let's go forward a little
they
bit,
always
Ryan.
have 20, 30 million views, if not more. And that's what he's sponsored by is Monster. So you get all these kind of people that just want to wear it because of that, and that's usually.
That's probably it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of viewers.
Yeah.
That's a big viewership. That might have a lot to do with it.
or they could just do it because it's cool.
Well, I mean, that's an
Maybe
option
you
too.
guys are not
Yeah,
cool.
I know. I sounded
Yeah.
really judgmental.
Yeah, you did. You might have just cut the Tadpog fan base in half right now. They would put on Monster clothes just to listen to you guys talk, and now they're like, no, you betrayed us.
Yeah.
Now they would drink Monster and listen to you guys.
The house divided.
Yeah. And they're rednecks, and you insulted rednecks too.
Well, we've done that plenty.
And they are allergic to bees, and you're hiding your fact you're allergic to bees.
And
you don't want to
Insane-
be open and
and
honest
Insane Clown
about it.
Posse.
Yeah, you're
We're
trying to hide
hardest on
something.
Insane
And
Clown Posse fans.
Yeah, man.
I apologize to all Monster lovers. when we first started talking about Monster. Why do you name a drink Monster?
Because it's badass. Why not?
Because it contains no monster.
That's good.
I'll set you up and spike.
Yeah. Monster contains no monster. That's pretty good. I think you knew I was going to say that.
Walked right into that one, Ashley.
You did. You
Ashley
set me up for the
Thomas.
slam dunk. Slam dunk.
All right, we got another call from Zach, so I feel
Okay.
like we need to play
Yeah, we
because
should
it
finish
might
it.
like solve the mystery of the two pool tables.
Mortal fucking Combat? Is that what he's talking
Maybe.
about?
Sorry guys, my phone started yelling at me because I set an alarm in case I fell asleep. But yeah, I heard the MFKs for me, Jacob, and John Turley, and I have to
Murder,
admit,
fuck, kill.
like 2 out of 3 ain't bad. But for the time being, Taryn, I'm gonna have to call in on the GTP because I'm actually seeing quite a lovely lady these days, and yeah. But love the answers, and Tyler, it's fine that you would kill me. And Dave, I would tell everybody forever. And Taryn, if that happened, at one point in my life I would have been ecstatic, but yeah, no longer.
But now, pause. But now you're 30.
Nope.
Jesus, I don't need to talk to people whenever it's 3 o'clock in the morning. All right, well, pay Lord bless, and later, TADPOG Nation.
Thank you for calling because I was actually really worried something happened to you. So maybe a dude was hiding behind one of those pool tables and jumped out
Got
and
him.
just whacked you.
He does. Zach does now have a girlfriend who is really cute, really cute. So I'm happy for Zach.
Yes, congratulations. And I'm sorry, Taryn. That I didn't mean that personally. It was just like, man, I just got that good joke in on Shake, and it just like I was still feeling my blood was still boiling.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I think we're good.
We done?
Yeah.
Stick a fork in me. I'm done. That's what y'all say, right, in America?
Yeah.
Is it still hot to
Yeah.
say that?
It's a classic.
Is it still hot?
It's a classic Carrot Top
Stick a
line.
fork in me. I'm done.
Thanks for listening, everybody. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, and probably SoundCloud. Probably. We'll have to get back
Oh,
to the
suck it now.
What do we like, Tyler?
that threw me off.
What do we like? What, sucky now?
We like sucky sucky now.
I just say it. I don't know what it means or how to spell it. I don't even know how to spell it. Oh, suck it now.
That one never came up
It's
with the
so
spelling bee.
badass.
We really like 5-star iTunes reviews. As of the last time I checked, we're at 95. We're so close. Please help us out.
We're so close to 96.
We're so close to 96. I want it. It's reverse 69, dog. Oh man. But if you can't, that's where
You don't want
that's
that.
where 2 people face your genitals away from each
I'd
other.
say that's like the worst.
But a 5-star written iTunes review gives you a little power over the show. If there's a game you want us to do or a guest host you want on a certain show, you can include that. So whatever you put in that 5-star written iTunes review, we promise we will get to it eventually.
Don't worry, guys. Like Tyler said, we're going to be back. We're going to be talking about some kind of shit. Who knows? Oh, Chrono Trigger. Unless this episode doesn't go up in chronological order, in which case, who knows? We'll be talking about something.
Yep.
In the meantime, you can always find us at tadpog.com. That's where the show notes live. I don't know what we're going to have in there. Probably just like a bunch of Gallagher bits. Just like as many Gallagher. We'll solve the mystery between Gallagher and Gallagher 2. Who is the most powerful Gallagher? I'm going to say probably Gallagher 2. You can also find us on Facebook. We're at facebook.com/tadpog. There's a lot of cool people there doing a lot of cool shit. Normally Tyler will make a post with each episode, and that's like one of the best ways you can let us know how you feel about a specific episode, or if you have anything to add. Like I know Lord Matt, I think, was talking about asking us if we would ever do a reverse boss order Super Metroid. My answer to that is no, because I can't even do like a regular boss order. So no, I'm not going to do a reverse order. So there you go. You can find us on Twitter. We are at @tadpog_podcast. It's cumbersome, I realize. You're welcome, Taryn. Happy birthday. Thank you for everybody who's following us. You can, and really everyone who's retweeting us, especially our episode posts, because that lets more people know about the show. You can call us if you want, like all the wonderful people who left all these fantastic voicemails, except for Zach, who fucked it up and had to call us back. Thank you for everyone else. If you want to be a person who leaves us a voicemail, you can do it, and you have to call this number. It's 270-883-2555. You can send a text message, but I want to hear your voice, Jordan. Meow. I want to hear your voice, so call us.
Thanks for coming on, you guys. I thought it was good. Special
you.
request by Shake. I thought it was good.
Thank you.
And then Ryan, thanks. Last minute, I was like, hey, come on the show. Okay, I'll do it.
And Ryan was like, you're not dressed as E Honda, are you?
I missed raid night, so.
So how should we close it out? Josh is in here. Should we do Josh?
I think it should be up to Shake. How do you want to close it?
I don't know.
All right. I have an idea.
I don't know.
If you're okay with it. It might be too scary, but I want to do like Josh Nance emerging from Shake's backyard. He's coming out from the ground.
Okay.
And he's
An insect.
yeah,
He's digging Josh up.
yeah. It's Josh with a human face. He's got human features.
Josh with a human face? He has a human face.
So until next time.
Tropical Capricorn.
Man, that was weird.
I felt like it was Josh transforming.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. Into his real moon form. Lunar form. Lunar Nance.